What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Lob It Up podcast. I am your host, Tobias Barkley, alongside other hosts, I Love McKenna, and a prickly Siavash Gorbani over there.
That's crazy.
If the people heard the conversations and the websites that we looked up before we started this recording podcast, it's like, I know we're recording in the evening, we're recording late at night, but it's not Lob It Up after dark. That's a whole other podcast.
It is dark outside.
We could do a late night special.
Yeah.
Talk about all the scandals.
Some egregious things. Yeah.
Scandals in basketball.
Talk about Tristan Thompson and all that.
Yeah.
Crap with the Kardashians. But other than that, boys, how are we doing this week? It's been a couple weeks.
No, not been too bad. Caught the viddy for a little bit, so I was
you did.
down and out for a while, but
so you did get the Omarion?
Yeah, it was the Omarion. I'm assuming it was the Omarion and not the OG. So one of my friends, they caught the OG, and they were a lot worse than I was. And I think I was only really super sick for maybe like 3 days, stuff like that, and then had some lingering stuff. But now feeling almost back up to like 100%. So
it's good to hear better, though.
Yeah, man.
Siavash, what about you, my man?
Doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Happy New Year to you guys.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year's now.
I haven't seen each other since before the New Year, but, it's a new year, new me, Get the new year
New Year, same scuzzy me.
Hate that.
Oh, man, new year and new rules. They shut down the country again for another 3 weeks.
Yep.
And fuck my life.
Raptors are the only fucking team right now to be playing with no fans at home. That's crazy. But it's what it is.
Yeah, no comment. But a new year brings new takes, and Siavash, I know since we've been off for a bit, you are loaded with takes. So how do you want to break this down? Do you want to start with the takes of the week, or do you want to do our segment? Because I know you're probably going to bring a couple to the table.
He's a little loaded potato.
Let's do takes of the week, but I asked you guys before the show.
Just $1.
I asked you guys. I asked you guys before the show what your takes was, because I told you guys I have a lot of takes building up, but there's so many, and some of them could be going on to our next segment. So you know what? I will get started. My take of the week is very, very related to last night's game. For our listeners, we're recording on Monday, and on Sunday night, we had a return of Klay Thompson back to the world of basketball.
Let's go.
I'm loving the headband, by the way. I'm loving the headband.
The headband's great.
Headband's sick.
I love it.
It's fire.
And my take, this might be a little hot. It might not be. But I got the Warriors winning this year's championship. I don't think there's any team that can stop him. With Klay being back, he dropped 17 points in 18 or 19 minutes. And this guy, man, I can't see a team stopping them now. They're already the first seed. Now they got another shooter that is one of the second greatest shooter next to the greatest shooter. I think Klay is going to be right back into his old shape, and I think they're going to win it all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's their championship to lose, to be honest with you. Especially we've omitted James Wiseman's name as well. I'm big on James Wiseman. I think size for them just in general will help their team. They're already a great scoring team. We know that. We know they know how to spread the floor and share the ball. So once he comes back as well, it's just an added piece. And then we're not even talking about bro, they can go to the trade deadline and watch it walk right on by because they don't need to really change anything. These additions of Klay and James Wiseman are their trade deadline acquisitions.
Oh, true. Even watching them yesterday, you're always a little worried after a player comes back from injury like that, they're going to maybe lose the speed off that first step. And yeah, maybe Klay lost a little bit of speed, but just, man, having that blow by, posterize from those two players yesterday, I was like, nah, this guy barely lost anything. He's only going to get better from here. So I'm just super excited just to keep watching him and the Warriors.
And it was pretty dope that the return was against Cleveland as well. Just knowing the history that he has against Cleveland, but just the organizations was kind of cool as well.
Him and Kevin Love had a good long hog. That was interesting. But I think the great thing about his return is that this guy has played for this system for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
So the way even his first point was he was coming off a pick, and instead of going for the three, he just cut right into the basket, and he got a nice layup. Man, when I was watching that, I'm like, oh, he's right back in it. These guys got it.
The biggest question I'll have around them, and again, it's not a huge one, is just how Jordan Poole transitions his role that he's had this first half of the season to, the sixth man. It will be a bit of a change. He is young, and I think he obviously respects Klay as well, so it's not like there's any disrespect there. But it is, you're kind of losing your spot, and you knew it was coming, but
Yeah.
I think if he's okay to still perform how he has been with the decrease in minutes and, a bit of a decrease in role, they'll be unreal. It'll be disgusting. Like,
Yeah. 100%.
all right, Chris, do you want to hit us with a take, or see that? Do you want to go back to back on this?
Yeah, see if you got another good one going. I know you got so many.
Guys,
Really,
listen. I am not going to be able to get all the shots off. I need you guys to take some shots.
we'll
I'm
take
not step out
we'll
here.
take shots. Don't worry.
All right, I got mine.
All right.
I got mine. So I think, and this is vital for this organization, for their star player on their team, for his future, and for this next year. I think Ben Simmons needs to be traded by the trade deadline. If they let the trade deadline go by without trading Ben Simmons, they've wasted a year of MVP prime level Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting older. He does have a history of some injuries, so you don't want to just waste that year. And Ben Simmons' value, in my opinion, gets increasingly lower the longer we go on with this, because his value is going to be for what the teams want back. Philly's not going to get that. His value is going to decrease over time if we keep, having Philly hold him in a bunker underneath the stadium. So I think Philly's got to trade him by the trade deadline, or it's not productive for Philly and it's not productive for Joel Embiid.
I'll definitely agree with you on like that one because it's doing nothing for either the organization or like Ben Simmons just sitting there basically in a stalemate with like one another.
Mm-hmm.
Just at this point, I would almost say just cut your losses, get what you can for the guy, let Ben Simmons move on, be happier elsewhere, and then do what you guys can just to salvage like the rest of this season because like you are still having a very productive season, and just make that push, you know.
Yeah, and there's still right now, like, there's still teams. It went from being James Harden a year ago, right, when they could have done it in Houston, to now it's like we're talking CJ. The one big one that I'm hearing now is the Hawks just got involved, and potentially, obviously, Cleveland's there. I don't know what Cleveland would give up,
Yeah.
but the Hawks recently got involved, and the one I'm hearing is a three-way deal between the Hawks, Sacramento, and Philly. Fox going to Philadelphia, Collins, and maybe something else going to Sacramento, and Ben Simmons ending up in Atlanta with Trae Young, which would be pretty cool. But
Okay.
there are still pieces and valuable pieces out there, all-star level young player pieces. But I'm just saying, if we were going into the off season or even to next year, you're not going to see those same pieces.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Even without him right now, they're sitting at the 5th seed, right
Exactly.
below 4 superstar teams. The Heat are looking great right now. The Bucks and Nets, and of course my Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what it is though. As much as I do agree with your take, I do also think that I would rather wait for him to be traded until the end of the season if I'm the Sixers. There's a lot of moving pieces right now. There's a lot of things there's a lot of situations that I would rather take my chances on. What's going to happen with Beal in Washington? What's going to
He's
happen?
not leaving.
What's going to happen with Dame in Portland?
Not leaving.
What's going to happen with Jaylen Brown with the Celtics? What is this like? All these situations. Yeah, you say they're not leaving. They're not. That's not going to happen. If I'm the Sixers, I'm taking my chances. Let's see where this is going to be at the end of the season.
Wow. I would hate to waste a year of Joel Embiid when he's doing so well. Like you made a point where they're in the 5th seed in the East behind 4 competitive teams. They've also done this well, thankfully, to a guy like Seth Curry. Like, if Seth Curry wasn't doing as well, like if he was playing normal Seth Curry level, they wouldn't be where they are. They'd probably be in the conversation, but they wouldn't be, right there with the upper echelon of the East. Like, I couldn't even tell you what Tobias Harris's stats are. Like, I just don't know. He's very inconsistent.
I think it's now known that Tobias Harris has one of the worst contracts in the league. This guy is just not looking like what he did back in the day with the Clippers and early on with the Sixers to get that max contract at the time.
Mhm.
He's overpaid right now, and I don't think you can trade him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Chris, what about yourself? Do you have a take of the week?
Take of the week. Basically just been watching like a lot more like a little bit more ball, obviously being like sick and at home and stuff like that. So actually
Mm.
following up a little bit more with Raptors and stuff like that. I definitely feel like Fred Van Vleet has shown in these last like at least like 6 games or like 10 games here that like he is able to lead these Raptors and he is deserving of like an All-Star nod for this year. Definitely get voted in. Like his last over the last 6 games, I think what he averaged 31.2 points, 6.7 assists, 5.8 threes. Like he's just been going off. And he had like a huge fucking game against Utah, like what, like 2 days ago? I think in like 4 minutes he dropped like 20 points just in that like third quarter alone. And then I think in the third quarter entirely he had like 24 points, went 8 for 8 from the field, 3 for 3 from behind the stripe, 3 assists, like 2 steals, 3 rebounds. The guy alone had a 15-0 run by himself. So he's shown that like he can do it and that he is deserving of like those nods now. Because everyone's like, oh,
So
no, go ahead.
so do you think he's gonna make an all-star team?
Honestly, like I think it would come down to like more so fan votes for him to get in, just because I don't think the rest of the league is still like looking at him like that as of yet. I don't
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like what teams or what players, sorry,
know.
would get ahead of him. How many all-star numbers per team? 13?
I'm not 100%. Yeah,
Well,
12. Okay.
12?
I'm trying to
And
wait for you guys like to finish because I'm sitting here like I'm not the Raptors fan, but I would say he's in 1,000%.
Yeah,
yeah, I
like
would say
I man, like
1,000% as
I
well.
want him to be, but again, it's like you see snubs all the time, right? You see deserving players get missed on things like that.
I think you know what? Let me put it like this. Well, first, the fan votes is only eligible for
Yeah,
the starting lineup, right?
yeah,
So it's only and they're only 50% of that, and then there's another 25 that goes to media, 25 that goes to players themselves.
hmm
He would definitely, in my opinion, get in with the coach's decision, which
hmm
is the remaining 7 players that get on the team.
yeah,
I don't want to sit here listing the players because I have my own list of players who would make the All Star.
hmm
And I think we would have that as a segment in the near future before the All Star voting is completed.
hmm
But I think there's no way that he does not get in, especially with his recent performances.
yeah.
I don't think he gets in.
And it
I
is
don't. I just
Would you
don't
like
think
to
he
make
does.
a little bet ski?
Sure, and I'll tell you why. Because Chris, to your point, what you believe is the strength in him getting
hmm
to the All Star. It would be behind the fans, right?
hmm
So I'm just looking at, and this was
Oh, he doesn't have
tweeted out
fan
by
votes.
what's that? Huh?
He doesn't have fan votes.
No, that but January 6th, Shams tweeted out the current voting numbers of the
hmm
list, and Fred Van Vleet is on here under the guards in the East. But he's on here at 10th out of 10.
hmm
So I'm not like
What's the
I
number?
would I would if he was a higher up, I would be like, okay, say less. Like maybe he does because Fred has a whole country. You know what I mean? So that
That's
benefits
the
him.
thing.
I look at the people ahead of him. I don't know how I could give
It's
someone else a
all.
spot over him.
Honestly, it would be an easy lock if it wasn't for stupid Zaza back in the
You know what? Russell Westbrook is number nine
because of
in,
that
in
fucking
fan
rule.
votings. Number nine in fan votings on the west of the guards is Russell Westbrook. So I can tell you I would put Fred Van Vleet over Russell Westbrook.
Oh,
So there you
I would 100% too.
go.
And what's the exact number? I'm trying to pull it up to see.
210,065 for Russ and 108,529 for Fred. So
Okay, and
like
name us the players that are ahead of Fred on the East guards.
East guards. Okay, in from 9 to 1 we have Darius Garland. Do you want numbers or no?
No, just go for ranking.
Darius Garland, Tyler Harrow, Derrick Rose, Kyrie Irving. Why? LaMelo
Fan votes.
Ball, Zach. Yeah, true. Zach Levine, Trey Young, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan.
Okay, so out of those 9 names, I got roughly 4 names that are not going to get in with the coach's decision. So Kyrie definitely not
Yeah,
going to get in because he
Mhm.
hasn't played enough. D
yeah.
Rose not going to get in. fuck, who else? Tyler Harrow? Come on.
Yeah.
I think Van Vleet has a better case than him. And if you go with those other players as starters, I still think that there's still a spot for him to get in. And we're
So
just going off
that was 3. So okay, there's 3 omitted. So
I think
he's
Garland,
seven.
I would take Van Vleet over Garland today.
I don't know, but okay.
I mean, yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
But then,
I
so
think
but we
coaches
also
would
have to
too.
look because it's not. It's I don't think they have to match forwards and guards anymore. I don't think that there's a certain restriction.
No, they
Like,
do. They do.
do they? I was gonna say theoretically, could they go ahead and get all guards? But so there you go.
No.
So then there's a limit on amount of guards too. So if there's 7 guards ahead of them or 6 guards ahead of them in the East, we're not talking about the West. We're talking about the East because it's
Yeah.
not. Remember, it's not like East versus West draft. It's league wide draft. I just don't know. So then we go over to the West. We got Steph, we got Luka, we got Ja, we got Klay, we got Devin Booker, we got Chris Paul, Donovan Mitchell, Damian Lillard, Westbrook, and Edwards.
Yeah, I don't want to go over the rankings right now, but I would
Yeah.
have him in for sure. Because right now they're sitting at 7th seed. It's like it's a long climb back.
Yeah.
We were talking. I was talking to Tobo about this earlier today. We had a bet on this, like if the Raptors are gonna make the playoffs, and I was like, wait, I forgot about that one. Like, dude, they got a great chance with the return of Pascal and now Fred Van Vleet going off.
Yeah, because
He definitely will get in. Hit them and the Cavs are right next to each other, and they are gonna give one spot to the Cavs, and it's definitely gonna be Jarrett Allen. If they give 2 spots to the Cavs, that is 1 seat above them, and not 1 spot to the Raptors. I don't see it happening. And
But
again, this is going to
they're-
go down to the coach's decision.
They're 1 spot below the Cavs right now because in 2 games they could be in the 12th spot where the Hawks currently are.
They
Right
could.
now,
They
right
could.
now
We don't know.
at the 5th seed is 22-16 76ers, but at the 11th seed is the 19 and 21 Knicks. So that's what, like a 7.6 point spread on 2 wins. You know what I mean? So this right now in the league is so like ever changing. Like you and I were talking before, except those 4 teams on each conference, they've fully cemented themselves. The rest of those teams from like 5 to call it 12 on either side, there's still some shuffling around. Yeah.
that makes sense.
We'll get to it when we get to it around the time, and we'll see. You know, last year I think I won the matchup. Like we did like a list, and I think mine was the closest than everybody.
Oh yeah, I
else's,
forgot
so-
we did that.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
forgot we did that. Okay, do we want to get into your segment, Sivash?
I think we should. You know, it's a new year. I jokingly said new me, but I
Yeah.
think everybody at this time of the year has certain goals they want to reach by the end of the year. You say, hey, by the end of the year, I want to be able to do this. By the end of the year, I want to have done this.
Mhm.
And I think, you know, we're going to kind of do similar to our Christmas list, but we're going to just go around. We're going to go 3 rounds, 1 each, of just looking at maybe a team or a player or something that we want to happen in the league by the end of the year. And again, 3 rounds, 3 picks each, and I'm just going to go ahead first. I'm
Okay.
going to, you know, what I had first originally for this, I think I mentioned it to you earlier today, but the fact that you mentioned it earlier in the episode kind of, you know, shocked me. And you said there's reports coming, and I did not know this was happening. I was going to say, by the end of the year, I want the Atlanta Hawks to trade for Ben Simmons.
Oh really? Wow.
I think that has to happen for them because they're sitting at the 12th seed. And
Yeah.
Ben Simmons can be the Draymond Green to the Trae Young, to the step like that Trae Young is.
Mhm.
And you look at their team, they got all these pieces that they're just overlapping one another. Cam Reddish is
Yeah.
looking good.
Yeah. Duke
And
boy.
it's like, man, you got to get him out of there. This guy has been this great player, but when you got all these pieces that are overlapping each other, you can trade Cam Reddish, Bogdanovich.
You got
and I
DeAndre
don't know,
Hunter who's
Gallinari.
injured. Yeah, Gallinari. Yeah, they
You
got a
could
lot of
trade
guys.
3
on
of
the
them
team.
guys and some picks. Maybe do a 3-team, as you mentioned. Get De'Aaron Fox out of Sacramento. Nobody wants to be in Sacramento.
John
Get him
Collins.
just, you know. Yeah, get him. I don't think they're going to move John Collins.
I just mean in terms of another one of those pieces that are kind of in the same position, kind of overlap in skill.
There. And I think getting Ben Simmons there will solve a big question for them right now, which is defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the worst
100%.
defensive teams in the league right now. The only reason they're good offensively, I would say a big reason for that is Trae. but he's a big defensive liability. So if you get Ben Simmons on there, they can have a good balance going, and maybe
Yeah,
they
I
can be
totally
able
agree.
to do a great thing and make it back to the conference finals.
That'd be and that's the other thing too. Like you look at a team that last year, like I like as much as I thought the Knicks were a fluke, it was the same thing with the Hawks because they'd never done anything before. While I believed that the Hawks were one of the deepest teams in the league in terms of that positionless switch that they can do with those guys that we just mentioned, the Hawks just went from going to a conference finals to now maybe not even making the play in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's something that you can't happen. Like you can't if you want to keep a guy like Trey Young in your system, you can't have that happen. Like
Yeah.
guys like that want to see constant success. But Ben Simmons would definitely help him to get that.
Sir. All right. Which one
All
of
right,
you
I
wants to
can
go
go with
next?
my next one. So I'm actually gonna reside in the state of Illinois, and I'm gonna go up the stream to Chicago. And this is no secret to you, Sea of Ash, but I think the thing that Chicago wants this year, the thing that Chicago needs this year, especially before April 2022, would be some more size, preferably at the 4 or the 5. If they can get a guy to fill that 4 spot, I think, Steve Ash, it was you that was saying you'd like to even see Vooch switch to the 4 and them get a bigger body in at the 5. Either way, I think that's their greatest need right now. And I'll even go as far as to say if they go to the trade deadline and they get a guy at 4, like at the 4, so we were talking Jeremy Grant before, if you brought back Thaddeus Young, one of these guys to sit at 4 or maybe a 5 switch. If they do that, I will say the Chicago Bulls will be going to the NBA Finals.
Okay.
So I would say a Golden
That's
State
my
Chicago
guy.
Finals. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
guy. That's my
I
guy
just
right
look at
there.
it. I look at it, and you were talking earlier about Golden State being, they're going to win the championship and whatnot. And I think I would have gone against you on that, except their scoring is elite. They can shoot from anywhere at any time. Chicago, they can't really do that, but Chicago plays perfectly together. Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan work amazingly together. And then, of course, you got Lonzo. I just think if you get one more guy there, it doesn't have to be a big name. Like, it just needs to be a big body, and I think they can really do some damage in the East.
This is a conversation we had, I think, on our last episode last year for our Christmas episode, and that was something that I had on my Christmas list as well. But those talks are now turning up after DeMar hit back-to-back game winners right before the New Year, on New Year's Eve, and right into the New Year.
Yeah.
And these talks are now heating up with the few analysts on ESPN talking about they need some size. And that's
What
exactly
about
what I've had in mind. And I'm like, man, if we get it, because we have to avoid one of the two teams, which is the Nets and the Bucks. I'm praying those guys run into each other with the second and third seed, and we with the first seed just get to the conference finals. And if we have to run into one of those guys, if we have somebody that can not guard, but slow down Giannis or KD, man, I don't see how we can't make it to the finals.
I mentioned Jeremy Grant. I've heard his name with Chicago. I've heard his name with Utah. I know you don't want him. I've heard his name even with the Mavs. The other guy that I think of, again, doesn't need to be a big name, just needs to be able to know his role, what to do, go there and bring success. And he's on a team that I don't think really wants him right now. They're in a way different arena than he is. What do you think about Daniel Tice?
Ooh, that was not the name I expected you to say, but one-time Bull, he was with us last year. I think it was around the whole Vucevic trade that he came to the Bulls, and I'm not the biggest fan of him. Maybe yes, he will bring some size with us, but I don't know about him, man. You know what? Go ahead.
The reason I bring him up is because he can play the 5 in a small ball situation. Then you also have a guy like Vooch that if they need to go big, he can go, like Vooch can go to the 5 and Tice can still, be aggressive and physical at the 4. When we talked about the matchup, maybe off the pod about the Jazz versus the Clippers in the small ball scenario. When you look at the teams in the East, what teams besides maybe Miami scare you in terms of, okay, we can play big and we can play small. I'm not scared of the Nets. I'm scared of them like offensively for sure. They're very scary, but I'm not scared of them in terms of a size impact. In terms of playoff basketball, the grind, not scared of them. Miami, yeah.
Okay.
Milwaukee, maybe.
Maybe, bro. That's
Yeah,
been my biggest worry this whole time. It's like
yeah.
we need a
I would be
guy
scared
for
of Miami
Giannis.
more. Yeah, well,
No, I wouldn't.
but if you can like teams have, if you can find a way to shut down Giannis, that team becomes a lot less, easier to overcome.
Yeah, I
A
don't
lot
know.
more
I
easier to
don't have
overcome.
an answer right now. One name that I thought you were gonna say when you were kind of like bringing up a name, and I was hoping you wouldn't say this name, was Larry Nance Jr. I think that's
No,
our biggest miss. That's
no.
our biggest miss of the offseason. We had a great offseason, but trading him, like you losing him in that three-way trade and getting Derek Jones Jr. instead,
Yeah,
I think that was our biggest miss, man. Like we could have got him and he would have been a perfect fit into that system. Great guy that can move the ball, that can shoot the ball, that also has some size to him. Pause. That would have been a great fit.
the only other guy that I thought of again just by looking at teams and whatnot, and I know this guy up here gets all horny about him, but another guy that fits the exact mold that the Chicago Bulls are looking for right now is Miles Turner.
Ooh, getting all horny. Talking about me?
The Raptors, the
Yeah, Raptor
Raptors.
Raptor fans have been horny for
Uh,
Miles Turner for a long time. It's just because,
But
again, it's our need for a fucking big man.
but I think he would be nice in that Chicago system. Again,
Yeah,
he provides more size than a guy like Tice, but he can shoot from deep. He's not afraid to go into the paint. Just
yeah.
interesting option.
it would be difficult, man. I'm not. I don't know if I did mention the whole Vooch moving to the four, but I'm not the biggest fan of that either. I think Vooch
I
is like
thought
in
you were the
a.
one that said that. That's my bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just to me that would be like moving Al Horford to the four when he was playing with the Sixers. I
Yeah.
think he's a great center as is. Moving him to the four would kind of put him out of position. I just think
I feel
I
you.
would rather have him in a position where he can pull the centers out because he's a great shooter. Having
hmm
a smaller guy on him might actually take away from what he can do best. And if you
Yeah,
have a center who can't shoot in the paint, then that just takes away his advantage of being able to go inside if he does have a small guy.
Mm,
that's true.
makes
That's true.
sense.
Chris, your go.
Yeah, well, um, one thing I'm kind of hoping to see is I kind of hope that Portland maybe just fucking blows it up, man. I have not been impressed by Portland like at all this year. Because typically, like yeah, in like past years, like maybe they struggle a bit here and there, but they're always contenders. This year, they just do not feel like contenders at all. And like I went to go check because I thought I read somewhere that they were on like a 10 game losing streak, which obviously not. They've won a few games, but I think there was at least a 7 game losing streak that they
Yeah,
had,
they were
man.
on
And
they were on a skid for sure.
it just sucks. And again, you're looking at Dame, and it's like, bro, like, how long do you need to be loyal to a franchise that isn't doing fucking anything for you? Literally doing nothing for you. But you're gonna sit there and be loyal to them. That's like the girl in a relationship where they know their man is off cheating, but they still stand beside them and say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with him through thick and thin. Like, well, he's staying with you through thick and thin too, girl. Like he's out
Well,
there doing thick
that's
and thin.
love. Love can make you do some very, very stupid things.
Like it's
Very stupid
ridiculous.
things. So it's just this.
Yo,
It's the
Chris.
same love that Dame has with the organization of the Trailblazers. They can just make you do some stupid
He
things.
just needs to lose it.
I agree, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I don't think it's gonna
But
happen
we'll see.
either, but it's something I would love to see for sure.
No, it has to, man. Like that
No.
pairing has reached its ending. Like we gotta realize their best was when they made the conference finals in 2019 when KD was out on the Warriors. And they still got swept by the Warriors with just Steph, Klay, and Draymond. That's how, like, if that's your best and that was you reaching your maximus, like, that's how great you were. And now this is it. Like, you've reached it. You got to kind of get away from it, man. Even if it's trading CJ away, cool.
Mhm.
Get out of there. But it's
What
like,
has happened to Portland in the past 5, 6, 7 years is the same thing that's happened to the Pacers, the Magic, but except Portland has name brand lipstick. They have done the exact same thing that these
killing
two
these
ugly
now,
teams
jeez.
the exact same thing that these two ugly teams have done. The same result every year, but no actual result, and then they don't blow it up. It's the same girl in a prettier dress. That's all they've done. They've
Yeah.
literally fooled everybody. So you know
But
what?
Dame is
Maybe
the
you have a
prettier
point.
girl.
That's
Dame is
what
a
I'm saying.
prettier girl than Vucevic and Sabonis, my guy.
Hey, a lot prettier, man. A
A
lot
lot
prettier.
prettier.
But at the end of the day, I still don't think they're gonna do anything. I agree. I think they should. I think it'd be best for Dame, and I think it'd be best for Portland. But there's loyalty. Portland, is it a big market? I don't know. That's money directly into Portland's pockets. So what happens when they, get rid of their cash cow? Well, they got no one's buying any merch. Who's sitting there buying a Al Farouk Aminu fucking Portland Trailblazers jersey? And I know you like
That's
the
a good
reference because he's a
reference.
former Bull, yeah.
That's a good reference.
But you know what I mean? Like, no one's doing that.
It's
So
true.
I don't know. I think CJ's first, and then we'll see what comes of that. And but I don't think this year. Do you have
like
another
that
one?
pick.
See.
For my next one, in the next year, I would like the Celtics to trade away Jaylen Brown. I was gonna have this as my take of the week, but
Okay.
when I realized we were gonna do this, I just had to come in here and just stir the pot on Tobe's
Stir the
team
pot.
that he has had controversy with.
Mhm.
That he's like, oh, I love him one moment, and the next moment he's like, this is the worst franchise.
They are the worst.
Listen, bro. This team, what's been their biggest issue the past 5 years? They've gone to conference finals. They've had teams that has had guys like Kyrie on it, then Kemba, and there's been always a big name in there with those guys, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and the same issue they had 5 years ago, they have today. No leadership in that team.
I agree.
And that was a big issue that they had back in the day. And Kyrie and Marcus Morris tried to come out and speak out about that. But those young guys that went to the finals on their own wasn't trying to hear it. They're like, yo, these
True.
old heads are trying to hate on us. But now they're still having that same issue. Something's got to change. If I'm the Celtics, I'm keeping Jason Tatum. I'm not fucking with Jaylen Brown. Trade him away. Get someone else in there. Be like, hey, man, Tatum, here, you got the team. Figure it out. We're not going to have this thing, hey, we're going to make this work together. It's not going to work.
I think if they, I want to even say even if they make the play in and lose, but I think definitely if they miss the playoffs, one of them, and you're probably right, Brown is probably gone. Even if they lose in the play in, I would assume that he's probably gone as well. If they lose in the playoffs, like the first round, I can still see them making a smaller deal. Maybe it comes in the form of a guy, like Marcus Smart. It's been there for a while. He's been a part of that core as well. Obviously not as a big a piece, but I don't know. I think there's definitely change coming for that organization as well.
You know what it is, man? I was watching the game they were playing against the Knicks at the Garden when they lost in OT with Evan Fournier going crazy. Actually, it wasn't OT. It was
Easy.
regular time, and it was RJ hitting a crazy three-pointer over Tatum.
Yeah.
But I was watching out, I'm like, man, this is what happens when you got a bunch of young guys on a team. And mind you, Marcus Smart is not that young, but he's still in a position where he'd get another bag.
Mhm.
Where he can still upgrade the same bag that he got from last time he had a contract.
Yeah.
So when you have this guy and they pass him the ball because Tatum's being doubled, and I see Marcus Smart putting it down on the floor, going to the basket, and he's putting up shots worse than Russell Westbrook, I'm like, yo, this team cannot be this way if they want to keep Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
This team's got to change. Marcus Smart,
true.
I like the player. He's a great defensive player. He's a dog. He's like an upgraded 10 times better than Pat Bev player.
Yeah. He's a productive Pat Bev. That's all.
Well, Pat Bev's got his team in a better position than.
Hey, who
Marcus
knows? Pat
Smart,
Bev might
so-
be moving over to the Lakers soon. Who knows?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Just see them
Definitely.
chatting it up.
Nah.
All right, Toe.
Nah. I'm gonna stay in the Garden. I'm gonna stay in New York. The state of New York, and I think the Knicks should be signing a big free agent this offseason. I think the value of the Knicks over the past couple of years has grown in terms from players around the league. The Knicks have always been this laughing stock because of the management, because of James Dolan, because of just the antics that happen, off the court, less so off the court, or sorry, less so on the court, more so off the court. I think now they have respect in their locker room. I think the organization has a bit more respect. I think they've shown success in what that looks like and how exciting it is to be on a New York Knicks team when there is success. I think they find someone to go along with RJ and Julius Randle this offseason.
Okay. Me, my second thing is moving over to Washington here.
Oh wait, I thought. Wait.
Oh,
time.
yeah, no, we timing
Do you
it.
have any comments on? Do you have any comments on the last pick?
No comments.
No. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly go over something.
Yeah,
that
you
I
go.
just
You
find
go ahead.
hilarious. Do you guys remember when the Knicks put out a press about Richard Jefferson saying that he got an offer from the Knicks but he didn't want to sign with them on TV, and the Knicks put out a whole press like, "Oh, we actually never offered him a contract."
Oh my God,
No.
no.
The Knicks have come a long way from that era.
Yeah,
when
100%.
it's changed a lot, and I love Knicks. I love New
The
York.
history.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The history, bro. As
Yeah.
LeBron says, as every person says, when the Knicks are good, the league is great.
Yeah,
You
100%.
just
Sure.
need the Garden to be good. You can't just go to the Garden and drop 70 because nobody's good over there.
Mhm.
You gotta
It's
make
like
it mean something.
but take it over to a different sport. It's like the Cowboys. Fuck, I fucking hate the Cowboys. We all have a friend that's a
Man.
mutual friend that loves the
But
Cowboys.
the Cowboys,
And he
though, you
sucks.
can't even hate on the Cowboys right now because the Cowboys are
The-
fucking throwing up 50-point games now, man.
The league
It's
is good when the
crazy.
Cowboys are good.
It's true.
Like I was watching a sports show today and I was like, fuck, like I fucking hate the Cowboys, but I want them in the playoffs so
Yeah,
bad.
like I was talking to Jake yesterday with them, and it's like that's what he's been saying. All they've needed was just a new coach for the longest time. They finally fired. I'll use C's term there. Finally fired that egghead. Got a decent coach in, and look at them, 50 points every fucking game basically for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Going crazy.
Yeah. But
All right,
this is
Chris.
not the Hail Mary podcast.
No,
So
no,
we'll
no.
bring it back to
Wow.
basketball.
See, you should just get a shirt, see, that just says egghead on it, bro.
I might.
Just coin
I
that.
just want to credit my guy Tobe on that title. That was good. I liked it.
Thank you.
He said the Hail Mary podcast.
Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Love it up.
There's probably a real
This guy
Hail Mary
already-
out there, and I'm just chirping them,
Just
just
chirp.
flaming them on the side.
All right,
We
my
get like
fault,
No.
we get a notice.
Chris.
Charge.
Go ahead, Chris. What's your take?
My take is just, oh my God, what was that I just did? Crazy. Sorry. That threw me off. My bad. It was gross. It was wet. I'm pretty sure it's one of the cats. I feel like they threw up. And yeah. I'm gonna restart after I take my sock off. So my
What is going
Bro,
on?
it's gross. I don't want a wet
Well,
sock.
this is what happens. This is what happens when we record anytime after 10 a.m.
Yeah.
But no, my take, I'm moving it over to Washington, and I want to see continued success from Kyle Kuzma with the Wizards there. I've been loving watching Kyle play over there with the Wizards. Bro had a monster game like the other day, and I think he's like the first Wizard since like, what was it, Chris Webber in like 97 to throw up like a 25 and 20 game, because I think he had 27 points and 22 rebounds. And like, that's pretty nice for our boy Kuzma, because he always used to get just get the end of it when he was in LA, being like, oh, Kuz, you better pick it up because LeBron's shifting you out and he's kicking you out and doing all this stuff.
Well, that's a narrative we've seen a couple times though with
Yeah.
a few different players where they've been not what has propelled LeBron to success.
Mhm.
So the media will flame said player, and then said player goes to a different organization and does well.
And does well.
But I agree. Kuzma's been in a nice role, and I like him there in Washington as well.
Exactly. And I got to support my Filipino brother.
Is he Filipino?
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm pretty sure he's like one of like two players. But he's like Filipino descent.
Do you know who the second player is?
I have to look it up.
Jalen Green.
Come on, man.
Jalen Green.
Really? Oh yeah, Jalen Green is partial.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say Jordan Clarkson.
Yes. Actually, wait, no, I was thinking of Clarkson, not fucking Kuzma. My bad.
I was like, that's why
Yeah.
when you said that, I was like,
Yeah.
wait, who are
No,
you
no,
thinking
it's
of?
Clarkson. It's
Which one?
Clarkson.
Light skin.
Yeah, but I mean, you can pass. You can pass. Give him the pass.
All right. Okay. For my final, not New Year's resolution, but my hopes for this year, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna return a favor to my guy. I want Kawhi back healthy
Mhm,
because that Clippers team last year could have gone to the finals.
Thank you,
And,
my man.
and I just think we need Kawhi back, bro. Kawhi, we need him. And there's reports coming out that he's been, recovering well. And there's one thing I do want to say before I leave it up to you to tell us all about the guy. But there was a caveat that I heard on another podcast. I think it was a mismatch that they said that like when Kawhi signed the contract, he said he did not sign a 1-and-1 because he wanted to be able to come back healthy this year. And that's a big caveat because if he did sign a 1-and-1, he would have probably just paused on the recovery, did not try not to come back to fuck up the bag. But he signed a 3-year contract. The bag is already there.
mhm.
And however he comes back, he's coming back for the team and to win.
Yeah.
And I respect that. As much as I'm a Clippers hater, as much as I don't want to see the Clippers win because it's funny, I respect it, bro. I want Kawhi back.
Okay, man.
Yes.
I like that.
Good health to all players,
Yeah.
for sure. Even AD. But
Even AD.
with first of all, let me just say it's nice to finally hear the things I hear in my head, those voices that are in my head. It's nice to see a face now speaking those things
Oh
that
my
are always in my
God.
head.
What
It's
are
just
you-
nice
what are
to
you
it's
hearing?
it's nice to hear another person agree that if
Okay, there
Kawhi
you
was
go.
healthy, they were in the finals last
like
year. But no, I totally agree. Like with the Kawhi contract thing, the nice thing as a Clipper fan to hear was kind of like, you know what? And maybe I'll appeal to you in Toronto, Chris, being a Raptors fan. It's a struggle, or has been a struggle in our team's history, to have players come and want to stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to hear Kawhi be like, "Oh, I could have done a 1-and-1. I had teams that wanted to do a 1-and-1, but I took the longer deal. Yeah, I still secured my bag, but for us Clippers fans, it was kind of like he wants to be with the Clippers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was more than just the money. So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm excited to see Kawhi back, but just take his time, especially with Paul George out now. We don't know, he might be out for the season. So if that is what it is, just take it off,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back for 22, 23.
I like that. I like that. Definitely
And
good too,
Chris?
though. For my thing, I'm gonna switch it up, but yeah, I'm gonna switch it up on my last thing. I don't want to sound like a broken record. But for this one, what I want to see is I want to see Zion stop trying to push to come back this season and just take the rest of the season off. Figure your shit out, get healthy, get back, work on that like weight loss or whatever, and then come back next season just ready. Because I feel like, like I think right now he's working away from the organization, doing things
Oh, true.
elsewhere. That's the last thing like I read about his like recovery and stuff. And what was it? He's got like something like fractured foot, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and it's like, man, like the more you're gonna be on that, like it's gonna take longer and longer to heal. And obviously, the Pelicans want you back. They want you playing. The fans want you back. Want you playing. But I feel like if you just rush that, he's just only gonna end up hurting himself even more. So, I'd love it if they were just all parties were just like, you know what, screw it, do your thing, get healthy, come back next season fresh and ready to go.
I feel like staying away from the organization would help that too.
Yeah.
Not being there all the time, not being around the gym, around BI and all those guys. I think just
chef.
being away would
Yeah.
be good.
Being around the kitchen, just stay away.
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Like you,
Yeah.
like you sent that thing. The guy went to New Orleans or Louisiana and had found a plate he hasn't liked. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe we'll go somewhere.
That's
Bro, with that
facts.
picture of him, the two side to side, says in
I
the
know.
pose, and one picture he looks lean, the 2nd picture he looks like me. It was crazy.
Like, bro, damn. But yeah, speedy recoveries all around, like for the league. That's what we want. We love healthy basketball.
Speaking of speedy recoveries and healthy basketball, because of COVID, because of injuries and just because of the natural things that just happen in the day-to-day NBA season, we've seen some injuries throughout the league so far. We've seen guys like Joe Johnson come back, 41-year-old Joe Johnson come play for the Celtics. We've seen this guy that Chris laced up against in grade 10 or whatever.
Bengals.
He was in the NBA.
What?
So we're seeing all these different people and all these different characters in the NBA. And we thought, bring it back to a draft, the thing that we love most. And in this draft, we're going to draft all fictional players. Now, you can do this, the guys that you want, positionless basketball. We're seeing this with the Raptors and, with Cleveland. You can do it point guard to center. Maybe we'll even mix in a 6-man. However you want to construct your team of non-fictional players. So we did the coin toss before. Chris, I will let you start with the first overall pick. I will go second. Sivash, you'll be last, but you get the snake, so you get back-to-back picks. Chris, go ahead.
This is tough because I have 2 people written down for my PG. One guy is basically essentially a Magic Johnson, jack of all trades. Positionless basketball is his fucking thing. But then I have the nostalgia factor sitting here with me for my other guy. So I think I'm going to go with the nostalgia factor. For throwing it back from my Futurama days, bro. I'm going with Ethan Bubblegum Tate, bro.
Thank God. I thought you were going somewhere else. Thank God.
Nah, he's the leader. Bro, he's the leader of the Globetrotters. Super fucking smart guy. He's got the floor general badge easily. And I think he would have a good, healthy command on my squad out there on the hardwood.
This draft is so interesting because we all got the range for this is so wide. We can pick players that nobody wants in here, and then you can pick other players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tobe.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you something before you go for your second pick.
My first pick. Yeah.
You can't have
Your
a squad of little
second pick
bunnies.
of the draft.
What's that?
Yeah, please don't pick somebody from Space Jam because that's going to be my entire roster.
Oh, okay. With my first overall pick, there's a nostalgia factor, but I have a pick before Chris, so I'll circle back on the nostalgia factor for my second pick. It was a guy that I was afraid that you're going to take, but I'm inevitably going to be taking him. But with my first overall pick, I'm going with my guy Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Shuttlesworth. Okay.
Easy selection. I got Jesus running the point for my squad.
Okay.
Alrighty. With my first pick, with the third pick off the draft, I'll tell something to the listeners that they don't know. I am not as prepared for this, but I'm still going to come out. I'm going to come out doing good because I got my guy in this. And this is one of my favorite one of my favorite fictional players of all time. And that's Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew.
Nice.
That's my guy, bro. Those commercials, those Pepsi commercials where he would go to courts and cook people, and then he started getting other guys like Kevin Love, and finally he was playing. He got what's his name too, Ray Allen. Mm-hmm. Bro, those videos were my favorite as a younger hooper myself. I would just watch those. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna do that move on the court. And I used to, my dumbass used to think that shit was real. I was like, yo, he broke the guy's ankle with that move? And it's like, no, that guy's just acting. That's my first pick. My second pick, this is solely, I got no idea who this person is. Let me just find the name very quickly. This is solely just so I can screw up someone else's draft. And I'm taking Nathan Scott from One Tree Hill.
Wow.
That was my next pick. That's why I waited on the nostalgia. You know what? That's actually okay. Because I have a better pick. I have a better pick.
Honestly, I had Nathan Scott too, and Nathan Scott's the better of the two Scotts. So if you're gonna go with Lucas Scott, brother, you've lost.
I have a better pick. I have a better pick.
My fault, brother. I just that's like my sole goal with that pick. I was like,
well, that's the pick I was talking about with Chris, because he got on his Twitter mobile the other day and was talking about One Tree Hill. That's my favorite all-time show, all time over The Office, but that wasn't my pick. But no, he's not the guy that I'm gonna select next. But
okay,
I guess it's my turn.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Also from that era of One Tree Hill, from that world of One Tree Hill, I'm gonna take Antoine Skills Taylor. Antoine Skills Taylor was a better shooter than Nathan. I don't know if you know who I'm talking
Did he
about.
make the league
Chris.
though?
Well,
Wow.
are we gonna
I'm pretty sure
count him
Nathan
making the
made
league? He made the Charlotte Bobcats G League team.
He was
Yeah.
drafted.
Whose team are you cheering for? Your own or Steelers?
I'm just saying he had the better pick on One Tree Hill.
No, I'm going Antoine Skills Taylor because not only was he hooping on the court, but he was also smashing milfs off the court.
Okay.
So winner on both sides.
This guy.
That's a win for me.
Okay.
I'll take Deb. I'll take Deb Scott all day.
I respect that. All right. So with my second pick, sitting at the shooting guard position, obviously, you know what? I'm just gonna have this guy be a spot up shooter. You're just gonna find a corner. You're gonna find somewhere, and you're just gonna drain threes for me. That's it. That's your only goal. I don't care what else you do. You don't even have to play defense, brother. But I'm gonna be drafting Mr. Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, brother. Do you know this?
What?
Bro, this guy is fucking lights out with a bow and arrow, anything that involves aim. So you put a basketball in this man's hand.
What?
Knocking that down.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he's never played basketball. Okay,
He's
thank
knocking
you.
it
Thank
down.
you.
He's fine.
So
Thank
he's
you.
putting the ball in the bowl.
Bro, no, he's just gonna
Never
catch
played
and
it.
shoot. Bro, he doesn't just stick with the bow. This guy can anything, bro. Darts, whatever you need. This guy, boom, he's a fucking automatic. He's a
I can
like.
tell you confident.
I'm telling-
I can confidently tell you he's not on either of our lists.
I don't care. That's
No.
okay. I don't need that.
No.
But no, you told me any walk up.
Wow, there's gotta be
I'm
some.
pulling from anything, bro. Bro. I don't care.
So wait, can I take that shot from the?
Bro, you want to take that
from
shot?
the
You take that shot. I don't
DC.
care.
Can I draft Superman, please?
Yeah.
Nah, Superman. I was keeping it realistic, all right? Clint's still a regular dude, but he's got that sharpshooter.
Okay, you're back-to-back picks.
Back-to-back.
So now, who are you taking at your small?
At my
forward?
small forward position, this is where you guys give me the crickets, and I draft somebody from an anime. So we're gonna be drafting my boy Aomin Takai from Kuroku's Basketball. This man,
I fuck with Almin.
bro,
Heavy bit.
this man was cold-blooded in the show. I'm telling you, this guy grew up loving basketball, but it got to the point where anytime he played basketball, he would just dummy people so bad, they would just lose their will to play ball. And he eventually started to resent basketball because there was like his motto was nobody can beat me but me. So this guy is just lethal out there on the court, brother. Lethal. So I'm gonna draft him. Ain't nothing, can't stop my boy.
All right, so next pick.
So whatever, guys.
I'm going to something, a pop culture reference that maybe is not crazy familiar, but definitely more familiar than that. I'm going to semi-pro, and I'm going to draft Clarence Withers, also known as Andre 3 Stacks. So he's going to be playing at my
Andre 3
elite
Stacks.
baller. Yeah,
Okay.
I love Andre 3 Stacks. So he can be making tunes for us off the court, and hooping on
On the court. Okay.
So I got MILFs and music. So come at me.
MILFs and music.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking
Oh,
good.
I'm jealous of your team just off of that pick now. Guy on your 3 stacks, bro. Alrighty, with my next pick, I'm going with a bit of a legend, bringing it back from one of my old picks from one of our older drafts.
Okay.
I'm going with my guy Calvin Cambridge from Like Mike.
Okay.
He was in my list, but then we started getting into size, and I started to get a little scared that Cal might not stay.
Okay.
Well, Cal, he was dunking on actual NBA players when he was in the
true.
NBA, so
That's true. That's true. I'll give you that.
You're right.
Okay.
And with my next pick, I have somebody rated higher than this pick, but again, I will have to start looking into what my co-hosts are gonna take. So I'm gonna, take this as a safer pick. I'm not gonna make a mistake Tobias did.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go with Lola Bunny from
Lola Bunny. Yeah,
Wasn't even on my list.
that's a lot, brother.
I wanted her, so I'm just gonna take her.
That's good.
She's gonna get out there and just distract Tobias.
Do you guys not remember the movie? She was distracting everybody. Like, come on.
I
bro.
didn't. Hey, I didn't watch a new one. So I
I'm
can't comment.
pretty sure she was draining
on the
some
old
threes
one.
too.
On
Yeah.
to my power forward pick. I might be giving up a bit of size, but I think in IQ and in height, I'll be okay. You know, there was this guy that was raised in Philadelphia, born and raised. You know, in the parking lot, he spent most of his days. He's playing ball, but he got kicked out and went to LA. I'm taking Will Smith. I'm taking Will Smith, man. Are you kidding me? At Bel Air Academy, he was hooping. He was beating everybody. Carlton who? Carlton couldn't even pick up a ball. I'm taking Will Smith. Will Smith at my power, 100% lock it in. Let's go.
Okay.
You got to stretch 4.
Stretch 4. Okay. Okay. See, honestly, okay, I don't mind that.
Here's what I will say about that. I don't remember the show because I haven't watched it in a while, but wasn't everybody on those teams trash? Like, the only good player he knew was this guy from the hood that had a kid, and he was like, he was a mature one. He was like, I'm just going to let you win so you can go to the league and get the bag.
Yeah. But he was still good in comparison to everyone else around him.
Carlton was.
In comparison to them,
those guys,
Jeez. That's fun.
All
right, Chris.
All right.
My final 2.
My final 2 picks. This guy, again, staple in the basketball community, especially the black community. So you might know it. Another from a Disney show. At my power forward.
Oh, dude from the Proud Family.
It all started with an orange basketball. Wizard Kelly, bro.
Yeah, dude. I always wanted to see his face. I was like, just show.
I think they do. I think they show his face. I think they do.
I never watched
at some point. But yeah, I'm gonna go with my man Wizard Kelly.
That's a solid pick.
Right? He's a big guy. You know, he's always standing on TV. You can never see his face. So he's gotta at least be 6'8", 6'9".
That was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorite shows growing up. I love
some height there. And then at my center position, I borrowed this from my boy Sea of Ash from Uncle Drew, and I'm going with big fella.
Oh.
And I just need some size in the paint, and you can just sit there and just do what you do for me, big fella.
Well,
man, this draft is fun.
Speaking of size, here we are at my center position, and I look at my roster, and I got a lot of elite scoring.
He drafts himself.
But at the end of the day, what we need in the playoffs, what we need to win a championship, is a guy that can hold down the paint. And I'm going to the greatest movie of all time.
Okay.
And I'm drafting the Larry Johnson version of the Monster.
Oh, God.
To play at my center position. Very specific. At first I thought Muggsy Bogues, but then I looked, I was like, geez, Muggsy's shorter than Mike, so I'm going to go, and I didn't want to take fucking tall-ass white dude, and then so I took Larry.
What's his name? I forgot his name. You should have taken him.
There was Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues, tall-ass white dude I always forget, Pat Ewing, and Charles. I forget all the time. It's like Bill or Clint or Kyle or...
No, it's not Kyle.
It's
Sean Bradley.
Sean Bradley. See, Sean, that's a white name.
Sean.
Anyways, that's who I'm taking at my 5. Larry Johnson as a monster holding it down.
Okay.
See, you guys are thinking about positions too much. I'm thinking about, look, we're playing on the street court. It's 5-on-5. I got Uncle Drew on my team. I got my guy, Kelvin Cambridge. I gotta just go with another shooter. I'm just gonna space the floor, play 5 out. Okay. You guys can stay in the paint with your Rudy Gobert's. I'm gonna be having shooters all around. I'm gonna go with my guy Billy Hoyle from White Men Can't Jump.
Okay.
You know, just gotta go with these guys. We're just gonna have these players just space out the floor. You guys figure out your big men. I'm just gonna be out there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fuck with it.
All right, I respect that.
So that was 5. Do you guys want to do a 6-man, or are we clean at 5?
I'm clean at 5.
I want to do.
Oh, you want a 6-man?
Okay, so then you. So then I guess it's your turn again. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have one name that I wanted to take right in that moment.
Okay.
And I had to leave it on there, but now I can take him, and it's the greatest player of all time. I'm gonna have to go with LeBron James from Space Jam 2.
Wow, that's tough. I haven't seen the movie, so I can't comment.
Wow, this guy still refuses to see the movie.
Right, I don't like it.
I'll be honest,
good
I
reactions.
still haven't seen it. So
that's fair.
But he's LeBron in real life, and he's LeBron in that movie. So I'm gonna have to take him, man. Like, you know, it was between him and Jordan. I don't know about that Jordan guy. He was
that's the thing. See, Jordan wouldn't sit on the bench, but who I will take as my sixth spot, is a guy that deserves the bench spot. Will be appreciative of the bench spot because he gets to chill and lay there and get treats and all this stuff. And I'm taking Buddy. I'm taking Air Bud. Coming off the bench. So I got, pull up to my arena. I got MILFs, I got music, and I got dogs. What's good, bro? What's
sounds
good?
Like a club. It doesn't sound like a basketball game.
It's over, bro.
Sounds like a mask.
Our team can be ass, and everyone's excited because they got MILFs, music, and dogs on the side.
It's true. Honestly, too, and what coach in their right mind is going to say close out on the golden retriever? Nobody. Air Bud is a very versatile athlete. You see him, he's snowboarding, he's out here playing football. That's my concern with Air Bud is he's got too many obligations.
That's why we put him as a 6-man. That's why we got him as a 6-man. Chill out.
That's fair. To be fair though, I think it was that Air Bud football one, and he
you keep bringing this up.
He got rocked pretty hard by that one kid. Like you had dad on the sideline saying, "Hey, take that dog's out."
That's a physical sport. We're beyond that, and there's a lot of control. That's why I drafted Larry Johnson's version of the Monstar.
That's fair.
Really kind of controls everything like a Charles Oakley.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. Okay.
I respect that.
There's a lot of strategic planning that went into this roster.
Okay.
Brother, this draft is just the wildest draft we've done today. It's like there's nothing you can do in this draft that would make sense. It's like all off the board.
You can make your own logic. Yeah,
exactly. You got a dog on the bench while I got a girl bunny trying to distract dudes. Like, what
and this guy's got somebody shooting arrows.
He's not shooting arrows, bro. He's shooting dimes, bro. Splash. He's the third long lost Splash brother. He's the OG Splash brother. Okay.
Splash daddy.
And I guess if I got to pick somebody for my last pick, then I'm gonna go with my girl Monica Wright from Love and Basketball. She had a big successful career.
Oh, so now I'm the asshole because I didn't pick a girl.
She played overseas. Hey, I was gonna
wait. Before we go forward, are you putting a gender on the dog?
You know what? I'm not.
Don't limit his. It's
I'm not.
Limits.
Don't cancel.
Well, I was gonna pick Quincy McCall. You know, her love interest that she stands opposite from, but man was just simply too injury riddled throughout the movie, and I had to go with the healthy, consistent option in Monica. She put up big numbers, played overseas professionally. I think I can't remember, maybe she got her shot at the WNBA, but she was great. And that's what I need out there. So, consistency.
I forgot my guys.
I like that.
I forgot my guy from High School Musical.
Troy Bolton.
Troy Bolton, bro.
Bro, I definitely thought so. I was going to be drafting Troy Bolton.
You know another honorable mention I just thought of? Really anybody from that Office game. So Michael, Jim, Roy, Dwight, anybody. I don't know why.
I don't know why he didn't draft
Jim Halper. He was Larry Bird out there in the Office.
No, you got to go with Stanley.
Yeah,
Stanley.
Remember he had the dribble.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That was good.
Well, that was wild. That was another exciting draft. Our drafts are always elite, but I think that is it for the boys on the Lob It Up podcast. A late one today, a little Lob It Up after dark. We did get into some questionable conversations, so I guess it was on the line. But this has been another episode, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.